show where we talk about our list of movie blind spots or our list of shame. My name's Andy.
And I'm Adam.
And this week we're doing a couple of movies, or at least one movie that I had not seen before. On Monday we talked about Ransom. Give me back my son! With Mel Gibson and Rene Russo.
You should go home.
Adam paired that with another movie dealing with a kidnapping and a little bit more. So he's going to tell us all about the movie we're going to talk about today.
All right. Gene Watson is forced into a situation where he's told to kill a politician to save his kidnapped daughter. But will he save his daughter in the nick of time?
Dun, dun, dun!
Let's get down to business.
Who are you people?
Pay attention. Mr. Watson, pay attention. And your daughter won't be hurt.
All right, honey, come to daddy.
Mr. Watson, you're not paying attention. Your daughter's life depends on you. Do you understand? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Good. This is for you. In it, there's a picture of a woman and an itinerary. It's her itinerary. She is presently... You listening, Mr. Watson?
Yes.
She is presently at the Bonaventure Hotel. It's not far from here. When you leave this van, you get yourself a taxi over there, and you will take it to the Bonaventure Hotel. Then, you will take this, and you will kill the woman whose picture's in there. Not just shoot her, mind you, kill her. I recommend you empty the gun into her, close up.
Nick of Time came out in 1995. It is written by Patrick Sheen Duncan, maybe Sean Duncan, and it's directed by John Badham. Duncan wrote a bunch of movies, Courage Under Fire, Mr. Holland's Opus being a couple ones that jump to mind. And Badham did a movie we watched for the show. He did Stakeout.
Yes.
Which we liked.
Yes.
Not another Stakeout, not so much.
Another Stakeout had a whole lot of Rosie.
Yes, it did. He did War Games, awesome movie. Hacker movie, love it. He did Short Circuit, Johnny Five is Alive. He did Saturday Night Fever, which I've never seen.
Yeah, that's on your list. We're going to do that at some point. Yeah.
Nick of Time stars one Johnny Depp as Gene Watson. Stars Courtney Chase as Lynn Watson. I guess that's his daughter. Charles S. Dutton as Huey. Christopher Walken. That's a terrible Christopher Walken. As Agent Smith. No, wait. Mr. Smith. Roma Mafia as Mr. Jones. Marsha Matson as Governor Eleanor Grant. Peter Strauss as Brendan Grant. And Gloria Rubin as Krista Brooks. It's a movie I've seen probably like once, maybe twice before.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen Nick of Time. I didn't know if you've seen it or not, but again, was looking for a kind of a kidnapping movie from the same era. So settled on this one for better or worse. So I'm going to toss it over to you. You've seen it before, it sounds like. So what'd you think about Nick of Time going into it? And what'd you think about this viewing of Nick of Time?
Yeah, so this is like the, maybe third Johnny Depp movie that we've done, I think, on this show. I'm not counting Platoon. I mean, he is in Platoon, but he's like a background character pretty much in Platoon. He doesn't do much. But I remember Johnny Depp, of course, he's in the news at least right now because of him and Amber Heard having a trial. Yeah, but I remember when Johnny Depp first hit the scene, well, in hindsight, that is. It's not like when he first hit the scene, I was like, hey, that guy's going places. But when he first hit the scene, he was in like Nightmare on Elm Street and Private Resort, which is like an 80s sex comedy. And then he was on 21 Jump Street. He's like the pretty boy, So he had these roles that really didn't showcase any of his range. But then starting in 1990, he did like Crybaby, which I like. Edward Scissorhands, which I like. He did What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which I like. Biddy and June, which I don't like, but I hadn't seen it back then. I watched it for this show.
I liked
Ed Wood, all these kind of movies. I felt like he really started to take chances. Don Juan DeMarco is another one. He started to take chances and really show his acting chops. And I remember when Nick of Time came out, I had already seen Edward Scissorhands and Crybaby and stuff like that, and was a big fan of those movies. So I was excited for the movies that Johnny Depp was in, because I was like, this guy, he's like the heir apparent to like Marlon Brando or somebody who he was in Don Juan DeMarco with. But I thought this guy's really going to be like a big actor. So when Nick of Time came out, I was really excited. I remember it came to our, like, in the town that I lived in. This was our biggest screen theater. It's six screens, 6 movie screens. Later on, another multiplex would open up that had like 20.
Yeah.
But at the time, this was the biggest movie theater. But it was a brand new movie theater. It was pretty new. It was right down the street from where I lived. So I would go see all my movies there. I have such fond memories of that place. It was great. Unfortunately, Nick of Time was not one of those fond memories because when I saw it in 1995, I really didn't like it all that much. I mean, I don't remember exactly what my beef with it was back then, but I was not a fan. I remember it's the first Johnny Depp movie I'd seen in a while that I was like, oh, that was kind of a disappointment. So that's the only other time that I've seen it, and that was back when it came out in 1995, late 1995. So I didn't remember a whole lot about it this go round, although I did remember I didn't really care for it when I saw it initially, and time has not changed a single thing. I still don't like this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very good. I think, if you watch this movie late at night, completely turn your brain off, you can have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Because the fact that it takes place, it goes off in real time and it's a tense-ish kind of movie. They're gonna, they got his daughter and he's got to kill this, governor, this lady that's running for governor and all this stuff. It's got some good things going for it. The plot is interesting, but man, I don't like Christopher Walken's character at all.
Yeah.
I feel like he is really cartoonish in the movie. I mean, he's Christopher Walken. He's like, hey, you gotta do that, whatever, like he does the whole, that's how he talks, right? He does the Christopher Walken thing. But I don't like the fact that, well, I think the movie starts off interestingly because you have him and the Roma Mafia character, and they're like, okay, we got to find somebody, and you're not sure what they're planning. And they get Johnny Depp and his daughter, and they pretend like they're FBI. They get to their van, and they're like, "You've got to kill the person that's in this envelope." They have a headshot of her. You've got to kill the person in this envelope, or else we're gonna kill your daughter. You have to do it like in an hour. I think that sets up a really cool story.
Like 2:30 or yeah.
It's like an interesting. It's something Hitchcock would have done. If Hitchcock was alive in the 1990s, he would have directed a film like this, and he would have probably made a lot better film. But it starts off interesting, although. I think as the movie unfolds, there's so many people that are in on this conspiracy.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking, why in the hell do they need this guy?
Yeah.
Why did they really need to get Johnny Depp? I feel like it could be any one of the 50 people that are involved in this plot to kill the governor. I mean,
it probably would have worked too if it was anyone but Johnny Depp.
Exactly. They're going to get a guy.
Incompetent.
If you're going to have a movie where you kidnap a guy's daughter, she needs to be completely out of sight. Like, he has no idea where she is. But the fact that they keep her close because they're communicating via walkie-talkie, I mean, obviously they do that, for story reasons, but I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't know where she is or where she's being held, like she's just in a dank hotel room somewhere, I mean, I feel like it makes it a lot more, the stakes are a lot higher. But Christopher Walken is basically by his side the entire time.
Yes.
Like, hey, have you done it yet? Hey, well, there's a chance. Hey, yeah.
It's like how are you not gonna be guilty by association?
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
He's gonna be caught on camera.
Right. That's
he's
exactly
gonna be caught on
what I thought.
Security or something with him. Yeah, he doesn't leave him alone for a second. Like Johnny Depp can't even go to the bathroom without Christopher Walken walking in on him.
You're exactly right. And I was thinking the exact same things. I was like, he is basically attached to Johnny Depp's hip. So if Johnny Depp actually does end up shooting the governor and they tackle him and they arrest him, there's going to be plenty of witnesses or cameras or footage of Christopher Walken talking to him the whole time. And we're going to get him too. And the whole thing is going to implode. It's going to unravel. So I know with movies like this, they're popcorn movies. You're not supposed to think too deeply into them. Yeah. But I feel like this movie is just so ludicrous and laughable as far as how it tries to set things up. Yeah. It's just stupid, honestly, overall. Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the movie, and that's probably what I thought about it back in 1995, and I haven't changed. I did put in my notes, the funniest part in the movie is when Charles S. Dutton, because he has a wooden leg, he takes his leg off and beats the Roma Mafia character with this wooden leg. I was cracking up at that part. But unfortunately, I was laughing during a lot of the rest of the movie, and it was unintentional. Yeah. It was unintentionally hilarious. But it sucks because I feel like this is a movie that really could have been good if they just would have made some other choices that didn't make it just completely kind of fall apart. But it's just, I understand this kind of movie is not going to be 100% realistic or even 80% realistic, but this movie's like 5% realistic. I mean, it's really stupid. So, what about you?
I'm in the same boat as you. I think there's some interesting things they do with this movie, like the fact that it kind of plays out in pretty much real time is interesting, and it's not something we normally see and stuff like that. And usually when it's a movie that's playing out in real time, they try to go for the uncut aspect of it, right? Where they do it all in one take or whatever, or try to hide the take, hide the edits and stuff like that. And this movie is shot like a traditional movie. It's just that the actions and everything pretty much play out in near real time. It's 24 before 24 existed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. I do think like Christopher Walken just being all up in Johnny Depp's business is just, again, if the plot would go successfully, I'll spoil the movie a little bit here. You find out like he's part of the security. There's other people in the security. You find out it goes all the way up to Eleanor's husband is in on it. And even like this shadowy, I guess, donators basically leading the whole thing because he doesn't like that she's not listening to him or that she's a woman.
Yeah,
or something
their
like
motivation. Well, I'm of two minds about their motivation. It sounds like essentially their motivation is she's too liberal. Yeah. Well, she's a woman and she's too liberal. Yeah. And I thought they're not going to assassinate her because of that. And then I thought, wait a minute. We're in 2022. They absolutely would assassinate somebody because they feel like they're too liberal. So never mind. I withdraw my criticism.
That's the 5% that you.
Yeah, I withdraw my criticism. Yeah.
So you find out he's part of security. So maybe if he's caught on camera with them, he can be like, "Well, I kind of thought this guy was suspicious, but it's too much." And I guess they're trying to have that tension between them. Yeah, it's just. Again, there's some aspects of it that are interesting and are cool, but then most of the movie is just kind of like not great. It's just kind of paint by numbers. It feels like a little bit. It just feels very bland and average. I do like the hotel, the Bonaventure, the Westin Bonaventure they shot in. I've been to that hotel, so it's really interesting. And that hotel's in lots of movies. It's like in, I think it's in like True Lies. It's in like It's all over the place. It's a very, very popular place to shoot. It's a very distinctive looking hotel. So I think that's cool to see that. But yeah, I'm with you. It's just kind of like, it's okay. It's not great. It's kind of terrible, but it's okay. If you want to watch it.
Yeah, it's watchable.
Watchable, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
You can do worse. I mean, it's not nearly as bad as some of the movies we watched for this show. So
no, I just wish. And again, I know we could probably pick out this movie's flaws all day as far as just why couldn't they make it at least a little bit more realistic in this. But if you're going to have Christopher Walken kind of coaching him essentially the whole time, can he not just give him an earpiece and say like, if we're going to be watching you, you'll never know if we can see you or not. Don't take this earpiece out, and he's kind of like telling him the whole time instead of just being like hanging out with him like hey, have you done it yet? Hey, what are you doing? Like punching him and stuff like.
Or it
was so ridiculous.
Or you could have like set up camp in the bathroom and like had many of his cronies just kind of like throw Johnny Depp in the bathroom like when he's not doing what he's told or he's like acting up.
Give him a swirly.
Yeah, you can just be in there and just be like, okay, look, they can't watch us in here. No, you got to do it. You got to do what you said if you want your daughter to live, kind of stuff. And then he goes out there, messes up, and then another crony throws him back in. He's like, what did I tell you? And they can just beat him in the knee again and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it would have been more believable and maybe better.
And again, spoilers, but I just love the fact that Johnny Depp's getting his shoes shined by the Charles S. Dutton character, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay, you can talk. He can't hear you, or whatever." And Christopher Walken's just like, "Okay," he just buys it, even though he does have a little sign there that says like disabled veteran, but he just is like, "Okay, he can't hear, so I'm just going to talk about all these details of the plot right in front of him."
And he doesn't even like even the way he tries to see if Charles S. Dutton can hear. Yeah, it's just like you could easily fake it.
Absolutely.
He's like, "Hey, buddy." And then he doesn't. Charles doesn't just turn around, and he taps him. Hey, I didn't see you there. I can't hear. It's like, okay. Yeah. He's like, oh, that's so believable.
Yeah, it's
So
just, I
believable.
mean, just get a little bit more credibility,
Yeah.
please. Like,
I like it when Johnny Depp like orders a drink and the guy's like, "Hey, you got to pay for that." He's like, "It's on that guy's tab," like
yeah,
across the bar, and
yeah.
then he's just John. It's just like the bartender's like, "Okay, yeah, that's cool."
I'm like,
'Cause
man, I
that's how
should
it
use
works.
that.
Yeah,
I should
yeah,
be like, it's on that guy.
yeah, that guy right there.
Because it's Christopher Walken is walking past. He's like, hey, buddy, you got to pay for this drink. He's like, don't make me call the cops. What if you were just some random dude? I feel like, you're going to call the cop? I don't even know that guy. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, it's there's a lot of things.
Next time we're at the Weston Bonaventure,
apart.
we gotta try that. We're
Yeah.
just gonna be maybe the bartender.
all that guy.
Yeah, that guy right there. All right.
Yeah, so
What are
turn your brain off and maybe you'll enjoy it. But
All right.
I
What
don't
else
think
do
either
we-
one of us does. Yeah, so it's streaming on Prime Video. I don't know if you watched it on Prime Video, but
I did not. I have a copy, so
Yeah, so I
it.
watched it on Prime Video. It is streaming right now. It's 32% fresh on Rotten
About
Tomatoes.
right.
Yeah, it's 47% audience. So even the audience doesn't like it that much. 2 thumbs down, and I think they pretty much said the same thing we said.
Yeah.
It's just too illogical, and Leonard Maltin gives it 2.5 stars.
He gave it more stars than Casualties of War.
He did, yeah.
That's,
You're right.
That's crazy, Leonard, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So it's Wednesday, and on these Wednesday episodes, besides tearing movies apart like Nick of Time, we like to answer viewers' questions. So early in the week, we watched a movie about Ron Howard, a movie directed by Ron Howard. It's not about Ron Howard. We've seen and talked about a lot of Ron Howard movies on the show, but I don't think we've answered this question, which is, what are our favorite Ron Howard movies? Like you were saying a little bit earlier, Ron Howard doesn't have earlier in the week, Ron Howard doesn't really have a distinctive style, but he's a competent, journeyman kind of filmmaker. So most of his movies are pretty good to very good.
Mm-hmm.
Some duds in there. So he has a very good filmography to pull from. And yeah, so I kind of know which one I want to call out. I think it's pretty obvious which one is my favorite.
Yeah, it's Hillbilly Elegy.
It
We all know
is.
that.
No, it's Solo Star Wars story. Just kidding. No, it's not. But yeah, good director, done some good movies.
Yeah, kind of going backwards. I definitely have seen some of his movies from the 21st century, but the movies from the 20th century that he did, I kind of look back on with more fondness. And
Yep.
for me in particular, although he did plenty of good movies, I feel like in the 90s, like Apollo 13 and
Yeah.
Backdraft, and I don't remember where I fall on Far and Away. I don't remember anything about that.
So no, it's not the Duck movie, is it?
No, it's like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, like back in the early 1900s or 1800s or something. It's a period piece. I don't remember exactly when it takes place. But
Never heard of it then.
yeah, it's been a minute. But I am going to call out some 80s movies that he did that I feel like are great, and they are, one is Gung Ho with Michael Keaton. I love Gung Ho.
Gung Ho's hilarious.
I love Gung Ho.
It doesn't.
It's awesome.
I watched that recently.
Yeah, me too.
Some of the dialogue and stuff it's not too modern sensibilities. But it's funny. It's not exactly politically correct, but it's funny. And I think it's supposed to not really be politically correct.
And you have to watch it in the frame of mind that this came out in 1986. So,
Yep.
But yeah, we both enjoy Gung Ho.
He's between a rock and a hard on. Oh, I gotta see that.
Also, I think Night Shift is great. Night Shift with Henry Winkler and also Michael Keaton, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that I'm thinking Night Court. I don't know what Night Shift is.
Michael Keaton and Henry Winkler. Yeah, Night Shift. There's the poster for it. I know you can't see it. Sorry.
I've never seen that movie.
That movie's a lot of fun. It's the early '80s comedy that he did. It's a lot of fun. But for me, I mean, and maybe I've mentioned this. Probably I've mentioned this movie on the podcast or on the show at least once. I love Parenthood, the Ron Howard movie Parenthood with Steve Martin and a big cast of lots of people. But Parenthood, I've watched it so many times, and I've watched it also recently. And I think it's still hilarious. So Parenthood is actually my favorite.
I don't know if I've ever seen Parenthood.
No, I think it's really funny.
I've seen the Farther Rides movies. I know that's not directed by Ron Howard, but that's Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I like those a lot. So maybe I'll like Parenthood.
Yeah, you probably will. I mean, it's funny, and it's got an all-star cast. I mean, it's got Keanu Reeves, it's got a young Joaquin Phoenix, Diane Wiest, Martha Plimpton, Mary Steenburgen, Tom Holtz, and on and on and on. There's a lot of people.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I enjoy Parenthood a great deal.
All right. Well, I'm going with the tried and true. You mentioned it. Apollo 13 is probably my favorite Ron Howard movie. It's
Good movie.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
Probably, I would say probably one of his best. I mean, I know you like Parenthood, but I
like Apollo 13 a lot. Yeah.
So that would be my favorite.
Where do you fall if you even remember? Because I need to watch it again. But where do you fall on Willow? I haven't seen it in so long. I don't remember.
I saw it when I was a kid, and all I remember is Willow.
So it sounds like we both need to watch it again.
Yeah. Willow, Kroll. I don't think I've ever seen Kroll. I probably need to watch that, of the same kind of ilk and era.
Yeah.
Aren't they making like a Willow sequel series on? They are on Disney Plus.
Doing something. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. So.
So yeah,
maybe that'll be a time to revisit Willow
Yeah.
and then watch the stuff on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't remember or know anything about. I haven't seen Legend. I don't know if that's.
You have not seen Legend?
Yeah, that's with Tim Curry, right?
Tim Curry, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I feel like that's of the same kind
Mia
of.
Sarah, the girl from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and directed by Ridley Scott.
Yep. So I've never seen that.
And scored by Tangerine Dream, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, here we go.
So yeah, you checking a lot of boxes there.
Yep. Yeah, I am.
All right.
All right. Well, that's our favorite Ron Howard movie. Mine was pretty obvious, I guess. Andy's kind of a deep cut, but let us know what you think down below. What's your favorite Ron Howard movie? Maybe it's one we mentioned, maybe it's not. Let us know. Maybe it's one I haven't seen, because it's probably one I haven't seen, and we'll happily watch that. Please like, subscribe, share, do all that social media stuff of the episode. It really does help, and we really appreciate that. We answer viewer questions like this one. They're sent to us, realshame@gmail.com. Please send us your viewer questions. And stay tuned next week as we watch the movies from My List of Shame. And we'll see you soon, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye.